We're back. Sort of. Okay. So for all of you who've been keeping up on Instagram, Facebook, and all of the fun jazz, last weekend, my wife had surgery number 3. And while it, was fine, it was a surgery, she's used to it, she had to lay on her stomach for a whole week, and that made her quite miserable. But today, she's allowed to do some things. I just dropped her and the fam off to church so they can do their thing, because I don't do none of it. So this is more of a generalized chat. Just kind of me talking about some stuff, and just because, as we all know, life does funny things. 1 minute things are great. Next they're turned upside down. As a famous song once told me. And you just kind of get to a point in your life where you're like, fuck it, roll with the punches, who cares? But in doing that, sometimes when you roll with the punches, sometimes those punches feed it to you big time. Sorry, I just saw my box of batteries is corroded. Ew. They were already kind of bad anyway. I got them free at work. They gave them... Oh, had some food coming out of my mouth. They were already no good anyways. Whatever. Now, aside from all that wackiness just happening, sometimes it can really take a toll on your mental health. I mean, I haven't put any, anything into that. Like, I haven't played guitar in forever. Excuse me. I'm just kind of, I've barely done videos. My mental state has been a complete and utter disaster. I dropped my kid off to school now. School, that's another thing. She started that this past Tuesday. Weird. I haven't gone to a record store, or if I have, I just go in, look around, and leave. Because my mental capacity is just not there. And I had to cancel Jam last week. The boys did go. Ben and Austin and someone else. But I'm working on that. That's here nor there. You kind of have to just do what you can do, really. And I will say that when I did my video about, just kind of not being around because I've been so busy in surgeries and that, the vinyl community's been fucking phenomenal when it comes to just sending well wishes and all that. And that's all I could ever ask. I don't ask for nothing. Anytime someone sends a well wish, I get very excited, and I feel, I feel better in a sense, because most days I don't feel good at all. I feel like shit. 1 minute the band's cooking and we're writing song and we're just riff after riff after riff, and it's just, this shit's coming to the boys like nothing, and then stop again. Although it's not COVID this time, it's fucking, surgeries. And the boys are very, very, very empathetic toward. They're very, empathetic, sympathetic, the whole nine. They're like, do what you gotta do, man. We'll be here. And I can't thank those kids enough. So what I did was I messaged Austin. We were talking, like, we talk almost every day anyways, about just generalized shit and blah blah. Just saying, hey, what's going on, all that kind of thing, and and he's like, well, I got to get new boots and for his new job, new work boots, and I've kind of poked at him a little bit in terms of his amp of choice, but that's here nor there. I think he wants a new one. I think he wants something that he can do more with and get better tones. Because what he has right now, it's actually not bad. It's not a bad amp. It's just he relies too much, I find, on some presets, and I poke at him. But he fucking pokes at me just as bad because he's a little prick. But he's literally, he's got this God-given talent to be able to play guitar and learn things on the fly and figure things out really quickly, and I'm very appreciative of that. So, Ben's a great drummer. Andrew's he's a great bass player, and we all get along relatively smoothly. But at the same time, it's been very tough on all of us to try and get jams and continue moving forward and so on and so forth. That being said, hopefully we're going to get a chance to jam today. All of us as get back to getting some form of a routine going and getting some jams and getting things going, because that's really what we all need. I need a good scream. I really need a good scream. I need a good just dose of letting that out. But yesterday was fucking excellent. I hung out with Austin. Went down. We looked at some amps. Ran into a couple friends. Got a chance to talk. He and I had a good day yesterday. He's like, we were getting ready to leave, and I said, are you ready to head home? And that's usually what happens. Sometimes he gets called away to do whatever, and he goes, can we go to Riff Raff? Yes, I would like to. He said I started following them on Instagram, and he goes, they got some good stuff up there, and I want to see what they have for Maiden stuff. And he's a big Maiden fan, but he's into playing slow now. I don't know if I've rubbed off on him, or Andrew and I have rubbed off on him, or what, but he's still a big Maiden fan, and I can appreciate that as an old guy. So he bought Senjutsu, the triple, like the big triple gatefold thing. That fucking thing is phenomenal. I'm not a fan of the main cover. The back cover's perfect, and the inlet, holy shit, it's fucking excellent. He bought that. He bought a GGL and DVD. I'm not quite sure why, but that's his business. I mean, he likes some weird stuff, but that's fine. It's got whatever. He also bought an Iron Maiden Eddie beer opener, which is kind of funny. It's kind of cool, actually. And he also bought the Book of Souls deluxe hardcover book CD. He thought it was a DVD, and then I told him, I was like, nah, man, I think it's a CD. And he goes, it's neat, though. He got it for a pretty good price. I, on the other hand, finally, as I'm sure you've seen on Facebook and Instagram by now, finally, I've acquired in my fucking hands this record. This record, this band, every member, their subsequent bands, but this one here, I finally fucking own. And to actually hold this in my hand and look at the back with, who I can only presume to be is Philip, with a cigarette in his mouth and the crown of thorns. To say I actually own this thing on vinyl now is just... Thank you, Trent at Riff Raff. This was actually in a new box. So I don't know if he did a video on it flipping through or not, because I would have already said, hey, put that aside. It's probably the first time I've gone in and seen a record that's been basically a grail and not have had to message him and put it on hold or something. So I already opened it, and I haven't actually taken the plastic's still here because I haven't cut out the hype sticker yet. I still have it, which is weird because it's literally the first hype sticker that I've had. Now, that being said, as you can see here up at the top, it's got a little bit of a Gucci to it, but I don't really care so much about that. I don't know if it was because how it was sitting in the car, or if it was just bent from maybe me holding it. I don't care. I still have it in my hands. East West Records. 95. So this is obviously no, it doesn't have another date on it, so I presume it's original or OG. Well, it's definitely not OG press, because if you look at the cover now, Gordon, if you're watching, does this almost look a little more pixelated than it should? Buddy, I don't know. It just looks like that to me, but I mean it's newer, so it's definitely probably a little bit of a repress, but that's okay. That's okay, because I fucking have it now. I don't care. So this is a double album. This here is side 3-4. So it's got the cool little fleur-de-lis. It's got the song titles on it. It's got very cool. This one here, side 3, it's got Eyes of the South, Jail, Losing All. And then we have on side 4, Stone the Crow, which was their biggest hit, debut single. Sort of a kind of a rockier, sort of bluesy thing going on. Pray for the Locusts, which is sort of like an interlude. Swan Song, Bury Me in Smoke. Bury Me in Smoke. It's going to play at my funeral, I know it is. There's that. And then, of course, first one, which is side 1 and 2. Haha. Because if I did 3-4, what else am I going to do? Right? I'm weird, I know. Yeah, Temptation Swings, Lifer, Pillars of Eternity, and of course on the other side is Rehab, Hail the Leaf, and Underneath Everything. Now a lot of people will always wonder why would they do a double record and only have two or three songs on each side? Well, the reason being is, and I just learned this out actually from Andrew, because I'm not that bright, and I don't think I've ever heard anybody in the vinyl community ever talk about this, is that it allows the sound quality to be far better because there's more grooves and stuff. Or, well, the grooves are more spaced out as opposed to jammed all together, and the sound doesn't sound like ass, basically. So looking at this here, of course, it's got lyrics. Not all the lyrics, I don't think, because, well, maybe it is. Some of it. Now, losing all, it says, my wrists are slit, I'm losing all, gun on my head, I'm losing all. I'm pretty sure there's more than that. Maybe there's not. I don't actually know. I don't actually think I've pretty paid attention to that. You know, of course, you got all the main tracks here. Handwritten lyrics. And then you get some stuff in the back. Picture of the boys. Now, this record didn't... Now, this had Phil, Todd Strange. So, Phil Anselmo from Pantera, Todd Strange, Kirk Winstein from Crowbar, Jimmy Bauer from I Hate God, and... Pepper from Corrosion and Conformity. So there's Philip, there's Todd, Kirk, way before the Beard of Doom, Jimmy, and Pep. Now, out of all of the other records that I need to acquire to get the full meal deal of Down, I have... This is going to be a pain in my arse, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Nope, there it goes. I may actually take that to the jam room and put it up as sort of like a poster kind of thing. Yeah, so the other records I have, actually I have both the other two back to back. So there's the debut. That's the second Down EP that they put out many years ago. 2014. This was the last thing that they actually released. And of course, this was my first on vinyl that my wife got me for Christmas, and I'm still stoked I have that. I showed that off. And I think what I'm going to do is, because I do have all the records except for the second one, I do not have A Bustle in Your Hedgerow in my collection. I am dying to get that for a good price. Not one like I've seen online for $200. No, I'm not paying $200 for A Bustle in Your Hedgerow. I don't fucking care who you are. I'm not paying that. Fuck that shit. And I do have... I don't think it's in front of me. Was it? No, it's not in front of me. It's over here. It's over there. The Down EP, or the purple EP. Because they've only put out about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they put about five physical records. So, but of course, because they've taken so many hiatuses too. Anyways, guys, I think I've bored you enough for this morning. Thank you guys ever so much for your support. You guys mean so much to me. Even though I've barely been on here, I have hardly done any reviews. The last one I did was that Siren review. So I'm hoping to I got a couple more records coming. I know from people that want me to do a review, and I've told them abso-fucking-lutely. So yeah. Peace. Stay metal. I'm out.